All right, y'all. Millions of Americans are starting to not believe anything they're being told by the government or anything like that. But look, before we get into the video, I need you to like it before you light it, hit the sub before you hit the bud, join the team before you hit the green, and most importantly,
hype me up.
Yeah, it's Monday, bro. I know y'all got them. See, I was begging for them on Saturday. Cool. Y'all might not have had them, but I know you got them this time. And I need that like a crackhead need a pipe. There's only 2 YouTubers in the whole world that do that, and I'm both of them.
Does anyone else in America feel like you're waking up every single day to realizing that your entire life has been a complete scam and a lie?
Low key.
How is everyone struggling at the same time right now? Like, I'm looking around and it's not just one group of people. It's people with degrees. It's people with jobs. It's people doing everything that they're supposed to be doing and still barely getting by. So it's like, at what point do we stop acting like this is an individual problem and admit that something is just not working anymore?
We pay taxes on the money that we earn. Then we pay taxes on the things that we buy. Plus we pay taxes on the streets and the roads and the schools and everything else in the world. Then we pay taxes for the things that we own long term, like your car and your house and whatever, property taxes, blah, blah, blah. Please tell me why it is tax season and we owe a couple $1,000s. Please tell me why. So then you get a little side job or two, in my case, 2, and you owe more taxes on that. And then you get, and you're not even making much more money. So it's not even like you're in a higher tax bracket. But let's say you made 2,000 little extra dollars that year, and then you owe like half of that in taxes. Please tell me how anybody's supposed to get ahead. You're not. The answer is that you're not. This is ridiculous, and I'm so done with it. I'm a little heated, yes. Because how do we owe a couple $1,000s in taxes? We're broke.
What? Hey, bro, if you're not out here providing jobs, housing, goods and services, it's hard to get ahead. It's hard to get ahead when you working for someone else, because the U.S. tax code is set up to make the wealthier wealthier. It's really just that simple. They got a million loopholes for people who own businesses and corporations, but there ain't that many loopholes for the people who just got a W-2. It's really just that simple, dog. If you a 1099, you can start deducting stuff from your income. If you have an LLC, or if you're a S corp, you can start to get rid of like self-employment tax and all that kind of stuff. But for the most part, bro, if you work in a job, it ain't too many options out there for you to save money like these rich folks.
Do you mean I paid a credit card down to 0 finally, and I get an email today that my credit score has decreased? What do you mean? What do you mean?
My husband and I,
credit utilization is a huge part of your credit profile, but I don't understand how he paid it down and it went down. I can understand if he got it high, or if he closed the account, that can make your stuff go down, because the age of the account is important too. Did he close it? I don't know. He didn't say that.
decided we were done with insurance, health insurance, so we just opted out. And our premium was going to go up $500 a month for a family of 4. But anyway, we're like, screw this. We'll just pay cash.
$125 per person more.
I just had a mammogram, and what they charge your insurance, I got a letter that was like, oh, your estimated cost is $800. And I'm like, cheaper than what we were paying for our monthly premium, so I'll deal with it. And I get in here, and they were like, oh, this is what the cost of a mammogram is, $1,500. But since you're no insurance, we are charging you $95. But since you're paying cash, you are only charged $75. And I'm just like, insurance is a scam. It's a scam. Same thing with my, with insurance, my primary care physician, I would get a bill, and I would end up having to pay $175 for every visit. That's with insurance. So I'm paying my monthly premium. And then as a cash patient, it's $95.
Hey, the cash payment thing is real. I've seen multiple videos about that. You get a cheaper price when you pay cash. I think that's with any business for the most part, because they can take the cash under the table. People would much rather cash than a credit card payment, unless they're trying to track their stuff so that later on down the line they can go to a bank and say, hey, this is how much money my business brought in, and they want to get business funding. But people who ain't worried about trying to get capital and stuff, they would much rather take that money, put it in their pocket, and not have to report it to Uncle Sam. But man, these hospitals and these insurance companies, they are in cahoots together for sure.
I'm just I'm so sick of American healthcare.
All right, let me say this clearly. What's happening right now isn't about one video, one scandal, or one state. It's about why people don't trust anything anymore. Because every single time that something gets exposed, and I don't care if it's daycare funding, disaster relief, COVID money, corporate bailouts, or political favors, the reaction is always the same. First, people notice something doesn't add up. The math doesn't math. The story doesn't line up. Then they ask questions. And instead of answers, they get told to calm down. They get told that they're misinformed. They get told that they're being divisive for even asking. That's when truth dies. Not because people are stupid, but because they're being talked to like they are. What pisses people off isn't that fraud exists. What pisses people off is watching billions disappear, watching nobody get held accountable, and then being told that they're the problem for noticing. Because look around. People are working more than ever, paying more than ever, and getting less in return. Healthcare is a joke. Housing is insane. Childcare is unaffordable. Food costs more every single month. But somehow there's always unlimited money for programs that nobody can explain. And when somebody points that out, the conversation immediately shifts away from answers and straight to shame. That's not leadership. That's damage control. And here's the part that nobody really wants to admit. This isn't a political problem anymore. It's a trust problem. When citizens feel like they have to question everything and it gets spun, dismissed, or reframed, they stop believing anything that they're told. Not because they want chaos, but because honesty has disappeared. And until accountability becomes louder than excuses, this anger isn't going anywhere. People aren't radical anymore. They're just awake.
So I did a piece.
Dog, if you know anything about American history, you would have a strong sense of distrust for them, because there are countless examples and situations where the American government has basically betrayed the public's trust. Like, it goes back years, decades ago and stuff. One of the biggest scandals, like Watergate, the JF Kennedy assassination, like, man, those type of incidents, man, that make the people not have faith in the government, because the government sit up there and lie to your face. But man, it is crazy. They got money to fund wars, but not no money to feed the poor. Your taxes going to Trump ballroom, shit like that, while all his people getting richer. They taking your tax dollars, fighting in Iran. His people getting richer because they got drone companies that are being used for Iran. Bro, the shit crazy. They making money off of us hand over fist, dog. The biggest scam ever.
Yesterday on the crisis of trust in America. Did you know that 50 years ago, over 80% of Americans trusted the federal government? And today, that number's under 20%. Not only is it under 20% for the government, it's under 20% for law enforcement. It's under 20% for our institutions.
Black folks ain't never had no trust for law enforcement in this country. Historically, they've always messed over us.
It's under 20% for our corporations, even our neighbors. Yeah. And that's because we live in a world today where everyone lies with impunity. In this social media space, it's almost like a lot of influencers think that they're in the middle of some political campaign where they're campaigning against other influencers. I don't know what they're trying to win, but they just make, like, they're like children. They just make up stuff, I guess for clicks. I don't know. But it really highlights the true character of individuals today. Or I should say the lack thereof.
I was about to say, yeah.
The reason it's not going to stop is because those people are rewarded for it. Yeah, it's crazy. Lying is a profit center. Lying has become a profit center that is more important than dignity or character or morality.
Hey, bro, it go back to what I was just saying. Lying is a profit center, straight up, man. Your boy told you your groceries going to be cheaper, your gas was going to be less expensive, and there were not going to be any new wars. There is a war going on, and he is making money hand over fist. It's crazy, dog. This man has made more money than all of us are ever going to see in our lifetime in his first year of his second term. Crazy work. It is what it is. As you can tell, I don't like any politicians for the most part, but boy, I especially don't like your boy, Orange Man. Same color as my damn shirt.
Navan, the #1 rated business travel platform, lets your team book work travel in one place. Flights, hotels.
Yeah.
In America today, you can't afford a home. You can't find an affordable rental. Wages haven't kept up in 20 years. Utilities are through the roof. Insurance is becoming impossible. And now it's becoming illegal to survive without any of those things. Not illegal to steal, not illegal to harm, not illegal to scam somebody out of their savings, mind you. No, illegal to sleep in the only shelter you still have. Your vehicle, your van, your truck, or your RV.
That's big trash.
We've entered the next chapter of the affordability crisis, where being poor isn't just difficult, it's becoming criminal. Surviving. Let's be blunt. The system didn't collapse by accident. Housing didn't become unaffordable by coincidence. People didn't suddenly become irresponsible or lazy all at
bad
once.
Policy, dog.
And now, cities aren't battling homelessness.
It's bad policy.
They're battling the visible presence of the homeless. They don't want to solve it. They want to hide it. And the easiest way to hide it is to make it illegal to exist without paying someone for permission. If you sleep in the wrong place, crime. If you park too long, crime. If your vehicle looks lived in, crime. If you try to survive outside the system, crime. You're allowed to be broke. You're just not allowed to look broke.
The new American dream.
Hey, he really reminded me of Tom. What's his name? Tom Carlin, the late Tom Carlin. He was more like a philosopher type of comedian, but he used to be saying some shit, and like, you know, a lot of people would be like, he's a whack, you know, he's a whack job and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of things he said in his stand up, man, that stuff coming to fruition these days, man. Things are getting out of control. How the hell you get in trouble for sleeping in your vehicle on a public street that your job takes taxes out to give to the government? Think about that, bro. I'm on a street, not bothering nobody in my car, and the police officer come over there messing with me. My tax dollars go to funding these goddamn streets. You get what I'm saying, dog? It's wild to me, bro. They making being alive a scam.
Is to leave. And I'm not just talking about living abroad and earning American dollars and taking advantage of the exchange rates. I'm just talking about living a life of dignity at this point. I mean, where else in the world is anyone paying this much for healthcare? Where else in the world is anyone eating wheat that they can't digest and it's wrecking their gut? Where else in the world do you live to work, not just work to live? Look, moving abroad isn't for everybody. I'm not forcing my ideas on anybody. A lot of people in my comments come at me and they're like, well, just leave, or why do you hate America? I've never once bashed America, okay? I just ask questions and I say, hey, I've been somewhere else in the world where they do it this way. That might be a little bit better than the way we do it here. And if asking questions is wrong, well, I guess I am living in the wrong country. Nowhere is a utopia. Life can be a struggle everywhere. But it's at least worth trying and giving it a shot than just staying in the same place your entire life and never knowing.
I'm about to ask ChatGPT right now, what is the trend as far as Americans leaving America for other countries? In 2026, are Americans leaving? What are the stats on Americans leaving America for other countries in 2026? Is it higher or less than recent years? There you go. If America is so great, why does this say this? Let's read this. The short answer is yes. The number of Americans leaving the U.S. appears to be higher than in recent years. But there is an important caveat. There is no perfect government count of Americans who move abroad permanently. Researchers have to estimate it from migration and tax data, what the latest data shows. Researchers cited by multiple 2026 reports estimate the U.S. experienced negative net migration in 2025, meaning more people left the country than arrived. Estimates range from roughly 150,000 to nearly 300,000 net departures. The first time this has happened since the 1930s. That is crazy. Not the rolling 30s or the 40s, whatever they call them. The trend is expected to continue or strengthen through 2026. The U.S. Census Bureau reported that immigration with an E increased during 2024 through 2025 relative to recent years and contributed to a sharp decline in net international migration. Boy, that's crazy, man. The American dream is dead, bro. We have more people leaving than arriving here. When has that ever been the case? Oh, they just said it in the 1930s. And they ain't even have no strict immigration policies in the 1930s, bro. If you was white and can afford to get here, they'll give you, citizenship. It was really that simple, dog. History lesson for y'all. Depending on the methodology used, estimate source, Americans living abroad Conservative estimates 4 to 5.5 million roughly. Common 5.5 million. Older State Department estimate up to 9 million. Leave, man. What? Why are people leaving? The most commonly cited reasons are cost of living and housing costs, remote work making overseas living easier, retirement abroad for lower expenses, political polarization, healthcare affordability, lifestyle and quality. What considerations? Where are the Americans going? Some of the most popular destinations mentioned in recent reports include Mexico, Portugal, Thailand, Costa Rica, Ireland, Canada, Greece. These destinations tend to offer lower living costs, retirement visas, digital nomad programs, or perceived quality of life advantages. Is this a mass exodus? I wouldn't say it, but whatever. Not really. Even if 150,000 to 300,000 more people left than arrived, that's still a tiny fraction of America's population of more than 340 million. However, it is notable because the trend is unusually high compared with recent decades and appears to be the strongest outward migration wave in many years. There you go, man. What else? What more do you need to see? All right, but y'all see what it is, man. People are leaving this country, dog. It's expensive. You really got to be making some real money to thrive in this country right now. That middle class stuff, that shit out the window. It is what it is, dog. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'm gonna get at y'all on the next one.